In the open plains of the African savannah, the documentary reveals a roadside sighting. The camera captures the grand gel of a solitary figure moving alone, not stalking, moving. Hungry and frustrated, no antelope, no gazelles, not even a stray impala in the distance anywhere. But the hunger is real. Amidst the morning myths, with a distance chops of birds, a group of baboons, led by an imposing silverback, moved through the open plains of the African savannah roadside, with calmed authority. Starter everywhere moving, sitting, planning, peaceful. For the leopard, a shift in the air. The leopard doesn't need to see the threat to know it's there. She feels the vibration of the troop through the soles of her paws. This is a game of millimeters. She drops low, then flat, pressing her belly into the dust until she is nothing more than a ripple in the golden grass. She sits upright for a fraction of a second, a lightning-fast survey of the distance she needs to cover. Every muscle is coiled like a high-tension spring. She knows that a baboon troop isn't a buffet. It's a phalanx. One mistake, and she's the one being hunted. She begins the crawl, silent. Using the tall stalks of grass as a moving screen, she eats up the ground, closing the gap with terrifying efficiency. She is within striking distance before the first alarm bark can even leave a sentry's throat. The lunge and the wall. Then, the explosion. She launches a golden blur aiming for the heart of the troop. It's a bursting strike designed to create panic and a quick kill. But she miscalculated the guardian, the collision. Just as she reaches for her prize, she hits a wall of silver fur and raw muscle. The counter. His silver-backed warrior didn't flinch. He didn't run. He met her mid-air. With a roar that shakes the very air, the baboon patriarch delivers a brutal counterstrike, the warrior's response. This isn't a prey animal running for its life. This is a soldier defending his post. The leopard's momentum is halted by the sheer force of the silverback's aggression. The hunter, who expected a panicked scattering of monkeys, is now facing a set of canines as long as her own and a strength that matches her blow for blow. The strike has backfired. In the dust and the chaos, the leopard realizes she hasn't jumped into a hunt, she's jumped into a war. And for the first time today, the predator is the one who looks vulnerable. The leopard isn't just a killer, she's attacked to shame. The moment she feels the sheer physical weight of that silver-backed warrior, she realizes this isn't a meal, it's a mistake. She sensed the shift in the atmosphere. The authority has moved from her claws to his fangs. With a sensation of pure survival, she bolts. Her reflexes are a blur of gold and black, a frantic attempt to put distance between herself and the wall of muscle she just hit. But the baboons, they were never going to let this slide. In the primate world, an attack on one is an invitation for war from all. They don't just run, they coordinate. A chaotic, screaming wave of fur and teeth begins to pour from all directions. For a split second, the leopard skids to a halt. She turns, baring her teeth, trying to reclaim her status as an apex predator. She checks the odds, 10-1, 20-1. The silverback is leading the charge, and his eyes are filled with a rage that doesn't care about her reputation. The forced retreat. She is outnumbered, and she knows it. The troop isn't scattering in fear. They are closing the gaps. They are funneling her, using their collective noise and movement to push her away from the brush and toward the open, treacherous terrain of the riverbank. The sound is deafening, A symphony of alarm barks and screeching fury that echoes off the trees. No exit. The leopard is running out of options. Every time she tries to cut back toward the safety of the tall grass, a younger male baboon is there to intercept, snapping at her heels. She is being herded. The chase is relentless. In the chaos, the unthinkable happens. The most agile cat on Earth loses her footing. She stumbles. For a fraction of a second, she is vulnerable on the dirt, and she knows it. With a surge of pure adrenaline, she bolts for the only sanctuary she has ever known, the vertical world, the Treetop Siege. She hits the trunk of a nearby tree and scrambles upward, her claws shredding bark as she climbs. Most predators would stop at the base, but the baboons, they don't see a tree as a sanctuary. They see it as a staircase. The leopard reaches the mid-level branches, gasping, looking down. To her horror, the troop doesn't stop. The Silverback and his lieutenants are coming up right behind her. The reality. In this arena, the leopard is a specialist, but the baboon is a master of the three-dimensional battlefield. The final decision: who owns the canopy? Now, we reach the climax of this war. The leopard is trapped at the end of a branch, her weight making the wood groan and sag. Below her, a dozen baboons are climbing with calm, terrifying efficiency. They have the reach, they have the numbers, and they have the grip. In the treetops, a leopard has only one way out, a leap of faith. But the baboons can swing, they can grab, and they can surround her in the leaves just as easily as they did on the dirt. This is the moment of truth. The leopard is hissing, backed into a corner of thin air. The silverback is inches away, his hand reaching out to claim the prize. The sound of the struggle has become a dinner bell for the most opportunistic killers on the continent. The air, once filled only with baboon screams, is now thick with the scent of competition. The scavenger's calculus. From the thicket, the first lurking shadow breaks the tree line. Then another. He an ass. They don't just walk, they lope with a heavy, uneven gait that hides a terrifying stamina. One stands tall, his ears swiveling like radar dishes, mapping every snap of a twig. He isn't rushing in, he's studying. Those bone-crushing jaws are waiting. To a hyena, chaos is just a prelude to a feast, the spirit of the sprint. But they aren't the only ones watching. In a nearby clearing, a coalition of cheetahs stands as a single, unified force. They move in one spirit, their slender frames held high, eyes locked on a specific pocket of movement in the distance. The camera pans, closing in on a patch of brush where an antelope is grazing, completely oblivious to the stakes of the day. It's a moment of pure, natural irony. The stance. The cheetahs aren't crouching yet. They are standing tall, absorbing the layout. The pace. They begin to move with slow, deliberate steps, the calm before the storm, the readiness. It looks exactly like an Olympic sprinter settling into the blocks, waiting for the whistle to blow. The savannah has just become a crossroads of different fates. The cheetahs are winding up for the fastest race on Earth. The tension is so thick you can almost hear the gears of the wild turning. They are getting ready to trigger a pursuit that will leave everything else in the dust. The landscape has just shifted from a war of attrition to a race against time, the fragility of a new life. An antelope stands in a small clearing, her focus entirely internal. She is cleaning her newborn, a tiny, wobbly-legged cub that has only known the world for a few minutes. The mother is trying to lick away the scent of birth, trying to give her baby the strength it needs to stand. But in the savannah, the scent of life is also the scent of the hunt, the physics of the kill. The cheetahs aren't stalking anymore. They have reached their breaking point. This isn't just a run, it's an explosion of biological engineering. The launch. One cheetah triggers the charge. It's a burst of rage and hunger that defies logic. The acceleration. Think about this. They go from a dead standstill to 80 kilometers per hour in the time it takes you to catch your breath. That's faster than a high-performance sports car. The velocity. Within seconds, they are redlining at nearly 110 kilometers per hour. This isn't a long-distance pursuit. A cheetah's heart is a ticking bomb of heat and energy. They have exactly 20 seconds to finish this before their internal temperature hits the red zone. At 50 meters, the distance is vanishing. The cheetah's spine is acting like a massive spring, propelling it forward in 7-meter strides. At 80 meters, now, with kind of record, you know this prey is no match. But something unexpected happens immediately. The prey is trapped, and the cheetah decides to use it as bait. The coalition cycle the young prey, but no one is going for the kill. This is usual. Today is different. But the cheetah has a plan: to lure in a bigger prey. Now, in the middle of their calculative planning, here is a big challenge and a bigger threat. The elephant closes in on them, the coalition scattered in a frantic panic. In that moment, as nature has chosen to give her a second chance, she reunites with her mother. The elephant doesn't hesitate. They continued, pushing the cheetah away with their massive body.